I'm your host, Lizette Alvarado, and this is the Laws of Epic Beauty. Today, my guest is Dahlia Mahmood, owner of Dahlia Design. Dahlia, how are you today?
I am fabulous. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be here and with your beautiful audience.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited to have you here on the show. Now, Dahlia, you're award-winning designer nationally and internationally, creating the most timeless interiors for high-profile clients. To royalty, to professional athletes, how did it all begin?
It began when I told my mom at the age of 5, I'm going to be a designer, but not just any designer, a famous one. We lived 5 minutes from Disneyland, and I was not fascinated by the rides. I was fascinated by the details, the environment, and how Walt Disney could create such magic. And I would ask myself, well, if he can do it, then why can I?
Now, I understand that as far as your creativity is concerned, I know that your background and then the American culture,
Yeah.
how were you able to accomplish the big dreams despite of the cultural barrier?
It was very challenging. Generally speaking, the Middle Eastern culture measures success if you're a lawyer, doctor, or an engineer. And so, me wanting to be an interior designer, I was discouraged. I was told that I wouldn't have a future. And then during my school years, I was always teased because of my name was different. And I was told that being an Arab female, that my dreams were not valid. And then when I started Dali Design at 17, simply because of my age, I was constantly dismissed. And but that all fueled me, my ambition to want to succeed. And I didn't care what it took. I was on a mission that I'm going to make it. And that's something that my mother instilled in me. A good part of my childhood, my mother was a single mom, and she really told me that, Dahlia, you're never going to depend on anybody but yourself. And to have a good work ethic and hustle like no other, but always with honor and respect. And that has stuck to me till today. So it didn't mean, it meant that if I had to create my own lane, I was willing to do it.
Now, how did you know that this was the industry that you wanted to go into? Like, what exactly, what inspired you to create Dahlia Design?
Like I said, Disneyland had a huge part of me first being introduced to what is out there and what you can create. And so that really was a big factor. But I always, since a young age, I just knew. And I cared so much about my surroundings, the beautiful details, how I presented my meal, the bow in my hair. I cared about those details. And so it's just been a passion of mine. I just love beauty, and I love bringing beauty into people's homes.
Now, was there ever a point in your life where you actually hit rock bottom? And the reason I ask that is because so many people see the glam, they see all the beautiful, they see everything that we, give to the audience, but they don't see as a business owner, as someone who creates so much behind the scenes, they don't see exactly what it is that happens, because life happens. So
Yeah.
we want to know if there was ever a chance, ever a time where you actually hit rock bottom, and how were you able to climb back up?
Yes, I hit rock bottom when I came face to face to a near death experience. With my first son, we were in the wrong hands at the doctor that was on call during labor. And let's just say that she put us in very critical condition. And luckily, by miracle, I mean, even doctors reviewing our charts said it's a miracle how you and your son survived that. And she ended up losing her license. And then with my second son, we were with the right doctor, but this time he was born early. And we spent a month in the NICU. And when I tell you that I hit rock bottom, I was hopeless. Anybody who saw me in that time, you couldn't even recognize me. I was so distraught, fighting for my baby's life. And I was on my hands and knees praying, God, please pull my son through. And if you do, I will do everything in my power to give back and help other people, but especially our youth. But God has a way of taking your biggest nightmare and, making a blessing in disguise. And from that moment, luckily my son pulled through, but I forever changed. You know, I appreciate life so much more. Every day I wake up with a grateful heart. Anybody coming into my life, whether it's a lesson or a blessing, I look at it as, I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to take anyone or anything for granted. Everything around me, I want to appreciate the beauty. And, I'm always grateful. And really, it changed me as a woman, as an entrepreneur, as a mother, and as a designer.
Yes, I know that just from all of my interactions with you, I always feel so like I feel like have this kind of connection because we
We both
think
have the
alike.
same branding,
Y-
and
y-
we want to use our platform and do good. And I think that's why we connected so much, is because you bring beauty into somebody's life with your line of work, but I do too. But it's more than that. It's more than just our work. It's about really living a purposeful life. And that's what I want to do. No matter how busy I am, I really care. I genuinely care about people. I love people, and I love to see other people succeed.
Yes, I know that you really have a big heart, especially for kids. You give back to the community. You do a lot of mentoring in the community. You're inspiring other children to live their dreams and to not allow the world to, tear them down
Yeah,
through
and
your
no
mentoring.
matter what your circumstances is just, you got to keep going. And you just got to, if you believe in your dream, and what I say believe, meaning that you have to believe in yourself first for others to believe in you. Your energy introduces yourself before you introduce your name. So it's so important that you really know your worth, and and I knew it early on, and not necessarily people do. It may be later in life, and that's okay. It's just follow what you're passionate about, what makes your heart have wings.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Now, I know that a true highlight of yours was designing the Saudi Arabian King Abdullah's
Yes.
Cultural Hall and Museum in Fairfax, Virginia. How did you feel when he hired you? And what was that experience like?
So it was such an honor, but to be honest with you, I didn't allow it to get in my mind because I knew I had a lot of work ahead. And I understood the magnitude and the pressure that was bestowed on me, to make this project a success. But time was ticking. King Abdullah at the time, his health was deteriorating. And to be honest with you, this should have been a 2 year project. We accomplished it in 6 months. And I'm so proud of that because they trusted me to tell his story through the design and construction. And it was a great honor, to be honest.
That is amazing. And you've won an international award. Do you want to tell us about how did they choose Dahlia Design? I mean, I see all the beautiful, luxurious interiors and designs that you've created, but how did this all happen?
I mean, it's crazy because, I competed with designers from around the world. And to be honest with you, they were so much talent. And just to be in a room with them, I was already honored. And, you know, but what set us apart, maybe it's the work, but I've always said that even this, when I'm mentoring or when I'm, visiting schools and talking to students, is that confidence has no competition. And I truly believe in that. Is when I stood up and talking about project, it just projected that confidence, and I had to have that early on in my career. I had to believe in myself for others to believe in me. And it was no different when I was on an international stage. This is my passion. This is something that I love to do, and it just comes out. And we ended up winning for the USA, and I'm so honored and so proud of that achievement.
That's so wonderful, Dahlia. I'm so excited for you. That's amazing.
Thank
And so we talk about, balance and confidence. What do you see as how do you create all the balance that you have in your life with so much going on? You're a wife, you're a mom, you've got your business, and then you've got a team of people to manage, and then you have to manage your entire schedule. How do you do it?
I mean, it's something that I had to, and it's still a learning process. It's prioritizing. It's okay to ask for help when you need it. That's something that I told you early on, that it was very hard. It was like, Dahlia, depend on yourself, but you have to. You can't. It's very important, and this is something that I strongly, you know, advise your audience, is that you need to have me time. Self-care is extremely important. I can't do my best performance if I'm not taking care of Dahlia. So I have 1 hour in my whole busy schedule that is devoted to me time. And that may be going for a walk, that may be exercising, but it has to happen no matter what. And everybody knows that Dahlia's me time is essential. It is for my mental health, for my physical health. And I can't be the best mom, the best interior designer if I don't take care of myself. So those are the type of things that we need to prioritize in our life, because it's our life is like, it's constant distractions, and you just really have to be mindful that, what, I need to have that time for myself.
That's absolutely true. And it's so easy to be able to give, but
Yeah.
then we have to make it a point to give back to ourselves so that we don't get exhausted, and
As
so we
women
can,
especially, we're always used to taking care of everybody else, and we're always last on the list.
yeah.
And I think as we're starting to understand that, no, if we take care of ourselves and we are to take care of our health, we're able to be better at caring for others when we care
That's
for
absolutely true. Yes. And as a successful business owner and so independent, how did that affect your dating life prior to meeting your husband?
Good question, because I didn't really have much of a dating life. I mean, I was so focused on Dali design, but I did get a lot of marriage proposals. And it's funny because my mom would tell me, Dahlia, so and so's coming to ask for your hand. So and so. And I'd be like, okay. And she'd be like, there's one catch. I said, what is it? Is that they want you to quit your work. And I'd be like, absolutely no. I poured my heart and soul into Dahlia Design. I worked so hard to build this company from the ground up. And if my life partner is not going to support me and help me, achieve and be a part of this journey, then they're not for me. And so when my husband came into my life, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was finally someone that was not threatened by my success. He embraced it. He respected it. He admired it. And in fact, wanted to support me and help me take Dahlia Design to the next level. And he did, with the construction aspect of it.
That's amazing. So he
It's
is your
very
life.
important not to settle. It's, as women especially, we should not settle. We should really, once you know your value and your worth, the right partner will come into your life. Don't settle.
Yes, and I think that's a great point, is to be supportive to each other's dreams.
Yeah,
That's so important because, I mean, otherwise, what's the point, right?
exactly. And
So how has
there's so much more.
there's so much more, and we can't do it alone, and when you have that partner that is supportive, I think that just makes everything so much better. And like you said, he helped your business elevate, and together you guys are just working so hard together and creating, that's why everyone's able to enjoy these beautiful luxurious homes.
Yes.
Now, everyone that comes on the show, I ask, what your law of epic beauty is. So what would be your law of epic beauty?
So my law of epic beauty would be nothing, I mean, nothing is more glamorous. Nothing is more beautiful. Nothing, not a diamond in the world can sparkle of that of a beautiful heart. Lead from it, act from it, speak from it, and you will forever shine effortlessly, timelessly beautiful.
I love that. That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. I love that. So those that are interested in staying connected with you for your services, how can they find you?
They can find us at www.dahliadesign.net or on Instagram, Dahlia Design LLC. I would love for you guys to follow us. I will inspire you, motivate you, and to help you follow your dreams as well as share with you our journey.
Thank you so much for being here on the show, Dahlia. I really appreciate your time, and I'm just so excited for everything else that's to come. And everyone, thank you so much for watching The Laws of Epic Beauty. I hope that you found something inspiring here on the show today, and I look forward to seeing you all at the next show. And in the meantime, stay epic.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.